Reading from the Bhagavatamrita, Book 2, Chapter 1, Text 92. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Svargāpagā-hema-mṛṇālinīnāṁ nānā-mṛṇālāgra-bhujo bhajāmaḥ annānurūpāṁ tanu-rūpa-ṛddhiṁ kāryaṁ nidānād guṇān adhīte. The river Ganges, flowing in the heavenly planets, is full of golden lotus flowers, and we, the residents of those planets, eat the stems of those flowers. Thus we are beautiful, more so than the inhabitants of any other planet. This is due to the laws of cause and effect, for if one eats food in the mode of goodness, the mode of goodness increases the beauty of his body. Purport: one's bodily luster and beauty, one's constitution, one's activities, and one's qualities all depend on the law of cause and effect. There are three qualities in material nature, and as stated in Bhagavad Gita 13:22, kāryaṁ guna sangasya sarasad yoni janmashu. One takes birth in a good or bad family according to his previous association with the qualities of material nature. Therefore, seriously eager to achieve transcendental perfection, Krishna consciousness must eat Krishna prasadam. Such food is sattvic, or in the material quality of goodness. When offered to Krishna, it becomes transcendental. A Krishna conscious movement distributes Krishna prasadam, and those who eat such transcendental food are sure to become devotees of the Lord. This is a very scientific method, as stated in this verse from Nala Nishada 3:17. Kāryaṁ nidānād guṇān adhīte. If in all his activities a person strictly adheres to the mode of goodness, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness and ultimately become a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Unfortunately, at the present moment, the bodily constitutions of the leaders of society, especially the government leaders, are polluted, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, asamskrita-kriyahina rajasa tamasa rita pajaste bhakshayisyami malecha raj yarupina. Such leaders have no chance. That was 12:140. Such leaders have no chance to purify their eating. Politicians meet together and exchange good wishes by drinking liquor, which is so polluted and sinful that naturally drunkards and meat eaters develop a degraded mentality in the mode of ignorance. The process of eating in different modes are explained in the Bhagavad Gita, where it is stated that those who eat rice, wheat, vegetables, milk products, fruits, and sugar are situated in the elevated quality of goodness. Therefore, we want a happy and tranquil political situation. We must select leaders who eat Krishna prasadam. Otherwise, the leaders will eat meat and drink wine, and thus they will be asamskrita, unreformed, and kriyahina, devoid of spiritual behavior. In other words, they will be mlechas and yavanas, or men who are unclean in their habits. Through taxation, such men exploit the citizens as much as possible. In this way, they devour the citizens of the state instead of benefiting them. We therefore cannot expect the government to be efficient is headed by such unclean malechas and yavanas. Omagana timarandasya gyananjana shalakaya chaksur unmalatam yena tasmai sri gurave namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadāmayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, greetings from Rishikesh. We had a very nice caravan of devotees that came up this morning, sponsored by a very nice devotee named David. Hemalatarada, Jai Jagannath, Yoga Maya, Krishna Rai, and a few other people. And we're staying in the NVT Rishikesh. I'm going to visit my cousin, Maseva Bharati. I've told many of you the stories. And I'll also check out the Dhanurdhara Swami's Kirtan Festival. Is such a nice example, and meets so many people that want to meet me personally. And very empowered devotee. Just got a taste for Harinam in the early days where they go out on Harinam Sankirtan, strongly desired to give it to the world, and he's just doing more and more wonderful things, and what a great example of a follower of Srila Prabhupada. I'm also in touch with him, and hopefully I'll get to see him. So this verse we'll get to this verse with the golden lotus flowers and people who eat them becoming beautiful because of the law of cause and effect. Because the food is in goodness and increases the beauty of the body. But we'll put this into wait a second. I'm in the CC, not the, my God. I'm in Antya-līlā of the CC, text 92. Excuse me, I'm teaching different books, and so let me just, okay. So I've lectured on this, and it's and my theme has been entrance into the Antya-līlā, which is physically entering into Antya-līlā, because Lord Chaitanya is entering into the place where he's going to focus on the internal reason for his ascent. But it almost seems to have the metaphorical meaning that we're entering into the concept, the devotees are entering into the concept, Krishna Das Kaviraj is entering into this. And what does it take to enter into the Antya-līlā? That's the message for us. Krishnadas Kaviraj's example is the mercy of the stick, supported by the mercy of the stick of the saints. The story of the dog took shelter of the Shivananda Sena, and by the shelter of a devotee, one achieves mercy. So Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. Savashyataham iti sanivishto matasmate jnanam, and he gives remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge. And Prabhupada describes what's called the transcendental system, that the super soul's in everyone's heart. You please a devotee who is representing by his activities and his speech the will of God in this world. God notes that. And then through your own heart, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tvam yen. One who is worshiping me, faith and devotion, I give them the knowledge by which they come back to me. You get the mercy. Mercy, undeserved kindness, something beyond your capability. And there's certainly a theme with Antya-līlā. I'm teaching, after this, I'm teaching the bhajāmaḥ. And Sanatana Goswami begins it. The inconceivable Lord can be achieved by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Because it is a realm that is above cause and effect, and logic is based on cause and effect. It's not run by laws, it's run by the will of God. So you can't just ascend to that understanding by logic. I always give that example. The seminar I gave, can God be blue? A study of Krishna. And the answer I gave, I repeated it many, many times. If there's a reason God is blue, he's not God because there's something that forces his existence. So there's no cause and effect, it's God's will. And to understand his ultimate will and his swabhakti, swayam, his own devotion to himself, it requires mercy. And therefore we always begin every spiritual activity, with prayer. Because we cannot let's put it this way, we can only attract mercy. We can't cause mercy. So what attracts mercy? Humility, need, exhibited by prayer. And then through that transcendental system, God, seeing your heart, responds in your heart. Or seeing the heart of the object of your prayer who is pleased with your heart. God sees that and inspires you within your heart with the understanding that you need to come forward in Krishna consciousness, to enter the Antya-līlā, which is the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement. to understand muktir hidva yata rupam sarupena vivastita, to become liberated by situating sarupena in our swarup, our own form, our own spiritual identity. So this so we have this theme, we're following this parikram, and we get the first thing with the dog taking, it's even on the saying, he gives the dog shelter, and then Rupa Goswami is delayed, and we follow him, and we see two things. One we see is the special realization that he has of who is Krishna, the full Swayam Bhagavan, the full manifestation of God. We say original, but this concept of original doesn't work on a realm that's beyond time. So when we say original, I guess it's there. Everything is coming from God, but it's eternally coming from God. So you can't demarcate it as that point in time. Everything is coming from God. Originally, everything is coming from God, but it's eternally coming from God. Tadejati, tadnaijati, tadure, tadantavanti, sarvasya tadusafar, tadejati, tadnaijati, tadejati, tadnaijati, tadantavanti. Walks, does not walk, is near, is far. Inconceivable. The inconceivable has to be conceived by the mercy of God, the revelation of God. And even in a very ordinary sense, you can only understand a person if a person gives themselves to you, and a person will only give themselves to you by your love, which is demonstrated by service. Think what attracts you to want to serve someone. Think what makes you want to serve someone. Well, that's what makes God want to reciprocate with us. Give our. Think what makes you want to give your heart to someone. That is what makes God want to reveal himself to you. And then we have the second story of Rupa Goswami, who has this revelation of the speciality of what is Krishna, the original person, Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the full embodiment of love. And we have and then we see him come into Puri and stay with Haridas Thakur, and how Lord Chaitanya is attracted to him. God can become attracted to you by your love, which is manifest through service. That's the rasa vai saha, that's the ultimate principle of reality. The ultimate principle of reality is reciprocation, it's love. We have to attract God. and he will become attracted to us. That's why one of the beautiful names of God is Bhaktavatsala. He's affectionate to his devotees. He's controlled. Sri Krishna-katha. When you have prem bhakti, when you have full love, you control God. And I've made this point many, many times, but I guess they keep on coming out again and again. The supremacy of personality is that they're controlled by love. Otherwise, they're impersonal. And it's not it's not the height of personality. It's not the height of personality if you're not affected when someone gives their heart to you. If you're not controlled by their desires, if someone gives their heart to you. Anyway, we have the example of Rupa Goswami. Lord Chaitanya is attracted to him. And Lord Chaitanya blesses him. Blesses him in service, Bhadram Te, just as the cowherd boys tell the Brahmins that we have come to ask for some food for Krishna. We're giving you some service, Bhadram Te. That's so auspicious. So when God is pleased with you, he understands what is your karmic nature. What do you and he uses you in his service. That's the most auspicious thing. That's why the greatest service to a Vaishnava is to hear from a Vaishnava. Because when you hear from a Vaishnava, you engage the Vaishnava in service. Prabhupada noted Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. The main thing he noted about him, that he likes to hear. He was so pleased, he likes to hear. So Rupa Goswami, Lord Chaitanya blesses him. And he has this special insight. That's the blessing. Tadami buddhi yogam tvam yenamam. He gives them some type of realization. A realization is a vision of truth. And sometimes it's a vision of truth and a vision how to use that truth to serve God. So Rupa Goswami gets this revelation that a narpita, which hasn't been given for a very, very long time, of God in the full revelation of his heart, of his being, in all forms of love. As a child, as a friend, as a lover, his full being and personality manifest. And this is Krishna. And because the environment manifests in the spiritual world with the desire to love in a particular way, you can't separate Krishna from Vrindavan, which is the environment which perfectly inspires and facilitates Krishna being himself, God exchanging intimate love. So once you go out of Vrindavan, because they coincide, the love and the environment to facilitate that love coincide. So if it's a different environment, it means it's not that Akila Rasamrita Murti. It's not that full embodiment. It's not Krishna in that sense. If we say Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti, and when Krishna leaves Vrindavan, it's not Krishna. If we define Krishna as not just God, but the full manifestation of God, of course, it's also Krishna, but it's not fully manifest. Just as a person goes to the high court, yes, it's your lover. Yes, it's your father. Yes, it's your friend, but you won't find your lover, your friend, or your father there. So in one sense, your father is not there, because your father is not just a person, it's the love he expresses and the love he feels and the love he demonstrates. So in a sense, it's not, yes, it's your father, but it's not your father. It's your lover, but it's not your lover. It's your friend, but it's not your friend. There's a special realization. And it's what Lord Chaitanya came to give, because it's intimate, it's spontaneous love, because it's not ruled by dealing with a superior, and therefore there's obligation, there's duty, there's fear in that type of pure love. But still, it's not as forceful. And Lord Chaitanya came to give this type of love. And look at the parallels between the, I'm doing the svargāpagā-hema-mṛṇālinīnāṁ, the same thing. I wrote these two articles, The Mission of Lord Chaitanya and the Genius of Krishnadas Kaviraj in presenting it, the mission of Lord Chaitanya and the genius of Sanatana Goswami in presenting it. And what was that mission? It was to give this type of forceful and intimate love, manifest in Vrindavan, and only manifest in our heart if we appreciate and understand Vrindavan and become attracted to those residents by hearing about their pastimes, perhaps first hearing about the glory of their pastimes, then getting an attraction for their pastimes, and then desiring to have a love that they themselves demonstrate. This is what Lord Chaitanya came to give. This is what Prabhupada's giving. He's certainly given the Caitanya-caritamrta. Prabhupada said everything is in his books. If you read this Antya-līlā, you will find everything. So he had that realization. And then he's sitting there in Puri one day. Lord Chaitanya is sitting there with Haridas Thakur under the Siddha Bakul tree. Rupa Goswami is reciting his poetry, Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava. These are things he was writing, and so many incredible verses, and he's composing it. I'm just saying that we're taking lunch today at the NVT here. And Jai Jagannath has such incredible realizations. I forget it. I can't remember it. I wish I could. It was nice and it was relevant. Wow. So, oh yeah, he was explaining how somehow with modern technology, he explained a beautiful way, but it narrows our own abilities. And you could see that with the fact that Rupa Goswami could write the Vidagdha Madhava, the Lalita Madhava in so much perfect poetry. You write the life and teachings, and you're confined in the expression of words that rhyme, that words that have the right meter, that words that have the right metaphor. And you're choosing that a medium because it has a more powerful effect to not only explain something, that make you feel it because it's Rasa Shastra. And he's doing this without word processor. He has one shot, it's all done in his mind. And then he's got one shot when he writes it on paper. It's all done in the mind. So you can see, as modern technology is taking over that, somehow or other, our abilities are actually getting less. Anyway, Rupa Goswami's writing it, and Haridas Thakur is chanting. And Haridas Thakur, born in a Muslim family, and Rupa Goswami serving the Muslim king and taking a position in his government because he's so bright and he has to do it. They can't go in the Jagannath Mandir, and Lord Chaitanya visits them every day and brings them Jagannath Prasadam. And then Lord Chaitanya comes and says, write a separate drama about me, write a separate. He gives the same message as Satyabhama. That's Vidagdha Madhava. But the same message. And then we're taken to this scene. It's described before in the Madhya-lila, but it's described again, where this principle is demonstrated of Rupa Goswami, of this special understanding of Krishna, meaning Vrindavan. And Krishna outside of Vrindavan is not Akila Rasamrita Murti. It's different. And it's not our objective, and it's not our goal. So the same realization, subtle realization, something that hasn't been given for billions of years, only once in a lifetime of Lord Brahma, which is which is 72 times 4,300,000 times 14 times 365 times 100 times 2. That amount of time, this realization comes. So it's a very confidential realization. Just as our confidential thoughts are not just broadcast widely, we give it to certain people. So somehow or other, this is given at this particular time. Swabhakti Swayam, God's own love, is not understood. And therefore, the esoteric meaning of the Rath Yatra festival is not understood. It's Jagannath, it's Subhadra, it's Balaram, and they're on a chariot. But what is the meaning of that chariot? It's Srimati Radharani taking Krishna back to Vrindavan, where Krishna is Krishna, where Krishna is her lover, where Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti, where Krishna can be himself, where God has his guard down, where his position, his personality is not covered by position. And that's the mood, and that's Lord Chaitanya's in that mood. And that's why he came to relish that type of love. But not just that type of love, but the person who embodies that type of love to its height, Srimati Radharani, at the height of her love, which is her separation. And Srimati Radharani, after 96 years, going to Kurukshetra, and she sees Krishna, but her lover is not manifest, and she wants to take him back to Vrindavan. So she's in separation and union, and it's so intense. And what is that height of that feeling of love? It's so intense. So, Lord Chaitanya is relishing that love. And therefore this pastime with embodies it, is the embodiment of this love. Taking Krishna back to Vrindavan, where Krishna can manifest as my lover, and what is that hankering for that, and the height of that. So bhakti, so God wanting to experience that type of love of himself so that he can be complete as the supreme enjoyer by enjoying the love of his devotees, not just enjoying the love of his devotees, but from the perspective of the lover and the beloved of the devotees and the lover of God. He wants that love. And Lord Chaitanya is going down that Rath Yatra festival. And he's chanting this. I explained this many times. He needs a song to exemplify that love, to nourish that love, and there's nothing. So he uses a verse from I think I explained this last time, from a mundane novel, but a beautiful Sanskrit verse. And Rupa Goswami goes and he goes back and he writes himself, immediately writes a verse that pinpoints and explains, not just in an indirect way that Lord Chaitanya was doing it with some verse which he was imposing this on his feelings, but directly explaining that this is the mood of Srimati Radharani in separation from Krishna. And then Lord Chaitanya was visiting and saw Rupa Goswami went for his noon bath, and he saw that verse on the thatched roof of where Rupa Goswami was staying, and showed it to Srila Dhanurdhara, and they were amazed. How could he have understood my mind? Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. How did he understood my mind? And therefore Srila Dhanurdhara says, he must have got you a mercy. And then this verse comes. When I saw the unique composition of this verse, when I've seen it, immediately I could understood. Kāryaṁ, he has received your mercy. Have I understood? Phalena phalakanana manumite. By seeing a result, one could understand the cause. Just like when you see the beautiful residents and the healthy, beautiful residents of the heavenly planets, you can understand. That they must have had food that was rich and pure food in the mode of goodness. So similarly, when we see the result of of Rupa Goswami's realization, we understand that he must have had your mercy. It's the only way. And again, the same theme. The same theme is it's mercy. Krishna's Kaviraj understands the Antya-līlā by mercy. Rupa Goswami understands it by mercy. We understand it by their mercy. Chaturmasya Rahi Gauda Vaishnava Chalila Rupa Goshani Mahaprabhu Charane Rahila. After the 4 months of the Chaturmasya, Shravana, Bhadra, Asvina, and Kartik, all the Vaishnavas of Bengal returned to their homes. But Srila Rupa Goswami remained in Jagannatha Puri under the shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Rupa Goswami stays. ekadina rupa karena nati kalikana achambate mahaprabhu hoili agama. One day while Rupa Goswami was writing his book, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly appeared. Sambrame dunhe uti dandavat hoila dunhe alingaya Prabhu ashani vasila. As soon as Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami saw the Lord coming, they both stood up and then fell down to offer their respectful obeisances. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them both and then sat down. You know, I'm writing a book on Vaishnava etiquette. It's been going on for years. But lessons from the CC. But actually, this Vaishnava scholar attended my class in Vrindavan, and I told him about the book, and he said, "Yes, this is wonderful, and you should do it, and I'll also check it over." So Krishna sent me two brilliant new devotees, but very educated. And I actually met with them, and they're going to help me. They can actually go through and outline the thing, and they're excellent writers, I could tell, because I was going over the thing that I wrote, and they were already saying things about language and making it clearer, so that was good. So here in this verse, for example, when Rupa Goswami, they stood up. It says if a superior comes into your room and that your life air rises, if you don't stand up, you lose part of your life air. So they stood up out of respect, and then they fell down to offer the respectful obeisances. And then Lord Chaitanya reciprocated, and he embraced them both, and then sat down. Kya punte lika baila eka patanila akshara dikya prabhu mane shuke hoila. The Lord inquired, "What kind of book are you writing?" He held up a palm leaf that was a page of the manuscript. He's writing on a palm leaf. And when he saw the fine handwriting, his mind was very pleased. Shri Rupera Akshara Yeni Mukutara Pante Pritahoya Karina Prabhu Aksharera Stute. Thus being pleased, the Lord praised the writing by saying, "The handwriting of Rupa Goswami is just like the rows of pearls." Se patre Prabhu ekar shloka yedikala tekila paditai shloka preme avishta hoila. While reading the manuscript, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a verse on that page, and as soon as he read it, he was overwhelmed by ecstatic love. It embodied a particular feeling of good poetry, good poetics, drama. It moves one. It embodies what it's trying to express so that you can feel it if you are qualified. And then this is one of my favorite verses. And then Rupa Goswami, he sees this verse about the holy name. Tunde tandavani vratim vitunute tandavali labdaye karna kroda kandambani gatiyate karna budebhyas briham cheta prangana sangani vajayate savendriyanam kritam no jane janita kriyadbhi no jane janata kiyadbir amritai krishneti varnatvai. I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. When the name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind. And therefore all the senses become inert. I can't imagine how much nectar And this is from the Vidagdha Madhava. This is the drama, the 7-act play he's writing on the pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. And of course, if you're younger, learn languages. Great fault of Americans. We don't have born in the United States. No matter how bright you are, you don't have the samskar. It's very easy to learn languages. I wish I knew Spanish. I wish I knew Hindi. I think this year I'm going to try. I think I'm in a different space now to maybe make some progress. But the alliteration, tunde, tandavani, ratim, vitunate, tandavali, labdaye, karna, kroda, kandambani, gatiyate, karna, bude, byasmi, jeta. He's doing this in his mind. He has so much he has to hold. Shloka Shuni Haridasa Hoila Ulasi Nachite Lagila Shlokera Arta Prashamse. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted this verse, Haridas Thakur, upon hearing the vibration, became jubilant and began to dance while praising its meaning. One has to learn about the beauty and transcendental position of the holy name of the Lord by hearing the revealed scriptures from the mouths of devotees. Nowhere else can we hear the sweetness of the Lord's holy name. Thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Haridas and Rupa Goswami and left for the seaside to perform his noontime duties. And very interesting stuff comes up. We'll stop here. I do give another class afterwards, but we decided that I would wait 15 minutes. Jamunajai, you there? You have any reflections? Anybody heard something like to take away from the class?
Hare Krishna Raj, thank you for sharing the CC with us today. I really loved the point about what you're saying, that God needs to express his love to be complete. That just really is something, and that's the point of her dragging him with a Ratha Yatra, to make him, pull him back to where he is complete, where he's able to express this love. So that just really struck me today.
Yeah, interesting point. Yeah. You're there in Yoga Maya?
Yes, Raj. Small room.
Wow. Is that the big room or the small room?
This is the small room. Yeah, I'm going to go across the hall to the big room to teach. This is the small room. Recently renovated, got bigger.
How many people will come to class in the?
So in the big room today, I think I have about 20 in the room, and then that class is also live streamed, so there's usually about at least 10 other people. When Bryn teaches on her Friday night, it's packed. She has sometimes almost close to 40, like almost 35, 40 people can fit in the big room.
How many times does she teach during the week?
Bryn only teaches twice a week now. Yeah, Tuesday and Friday. So people flock when she comes in, because she's so great. Yeah. And in this room, we can fit 15, 16 comfortably. It was much smaller before.
So this is as nice as the old Yoga Maya.
Yeah, I think so, Mirage. There's less of a lobby than there was. Yeah. Now you come in, and because Bryn said she didn't want to waste space in the lobby. So, but it's got all the beautiful woodwork, and Bryn, she's got such the aesthetic, the bolsters that people used to lay on are.
So it's actually quite a
gold.
Successful yoga studio.
Yes. I mean, the yoga teacher trainings that other studios struggle to get 12 people. Bryn has 28, 30 people in. It's really going, she's doing a great job. It's going great guns.
It looks like one of the most successful yoga studios in New York now.
I would say, Raj, the attendance is big, the trainings are big. They've got the good reputation, that's for sure.
And COVID, everyone went online, and right after COVID, she had the kind of insight and courage.
Yeah.
To get a yoga studio again.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
thought that everything was going to online, but people like to come and have that social interaction, that personal teaching. How
yeah.
often do you teach there?
I teach 4 times a week here. Yes. Yeah, 4 times. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Anybody else like to share their
See you around.
reflections or ask a question?
Hi, Krishna Maharaj. Yeah, a couple things. When you said this line that about how the environment facilitates one's mood, you know, and how Vrindavan gives Krishna the facility to be himself, right?
Yeah,
What spontaneously came to my mind was my own experience when I went from, a public elementary school. My mother took me out and put me into this private school. And, I feel like that switch gave me the freedom to be myself, so I was able to relate or connect with your thing that way.
yeah. That how powerful the environment is, and it all comes from God. So when God wants to enjoy love, obviously the environment reflects it. And he doesn't have to build it, he doesn't have to move to it. It just, it manifests. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
I
Yeah,
yeah,
what
I
else?
just like the way you put it though, that it gave him the freedom to be himself.
Yes,
That was really nice.
yes,
Yeah, and
yeah,
and then one other thing was when you were talking about the fact that Radharani, even though Krishna was before him, it wasn't Krishna, because it wasn't like her Krishna, and what came to my mind immediately also is like if a person has been craving some food or a particular sweet, or a particular food, you know, and then they finally get it, but for whatever reason, they're not able to eat it. They can only look at it, but they can't eat it,
well,
you
that's
know.
that's that's a good example. You've been
So it's like,
you've been hankering for pizza, so much, and then the pie's there, and then your mother gives it to the guest.
so it's like it makes you want it all the more now, even before you saw the thing.
Let me go back to the days of the youth when my mother used to spoil me. Now she's keeping me on a diet. It's the same pizza, it's the same mother, it's the same kitchen, but I don't want you here. I want you in the days of my youth when you weren't watching my diet. Okay. Haribo. Anybody else like to share a reflection or say hello?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Jai Shri Radhe. Haribo.
Thank you so much for the class.
Thank you. Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Yvette. Dan.
Yvette, hey, I thought you guys were in Govardhan. What are you doing in
It was so
Philadelphia?
quick, I know. It was a dream, and it's gone.
You love Govardhan?
I do. Yes, can't wait to come back.
I am in separation from Govardhan. I'm in Rishikesh. I'm
Ooh.
complete separation. We had a nice 6-hour drive. It went really easy. And yeah, we were going around practically, especially Hemalata. She wouldn't miss. And
He's such a sweet soul.
the last day, the last day we were there, she just walked around like it was nothing, the whole thing, with Catherine A. She walked around with Catherine A like it was nothing.
Sweet.
And such a feeling of the hill. Reminds me of that, there's a verse at the end of the CC that this scholar Kartik Chandra had said, love is like a fragrance.
Mm.
So the object of love, you kind of can experience them. It's not just an intellectual process. So I think staying there in Govardhan, we kind of felt that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming with us and giving us that little tour and bringing us to the Bridge Bossi's home. It was such a highlight. Thank you so much.
The Bridge Bossi's home.
Mm-hmm.
It's another world. You went up on the roof.
Yes,
Yeah, like,
yes.
imagine go up on your roof and you're right next to Govardhan. It's an amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty far out. Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Haribo, good. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Amala, thank you for class. I wanted to say I really liked your last Monday morning greeting. Found it really interesting. What was that?
What was it on?
Build devotees, not temples.
Build devotees, not temples. Yeah, a lot of people like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to write a part 2, actually.
Oh, nice. Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. You know, you just look like you belong in Govardhan all the time. I swear. You got such a good sadhu profile.
Oh, thank you.
You just being Govardhan all the, once you get, you get your pension or something.
Yeah.
If you're not priced out of Govardhan, I can't believe how expensive it's become.
Really?
Yeah. The small land that my house is on, just half of it, they're selling the same land for like $80,000.
Wow.
But if I need to get some more room, because we have so many nice guests that are staying at my place now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this one lady from the Middle East, her name is Sadeshri. And she stayed there. And I told her to fix up the kitchen. I got the best kitchen you ever seen, Amala.
Really?
You can't believe how this lady set up this kitchen. So now we have that facility too.
Can't wait.
If I need more, I'll just build something again. Because in India, there's no building codes, unlike Albany and New Jersey. You just build. Okay. Haribo, anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna Gurudev.
Your kitchen is ready, Abid Sundari.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Maharaj. We got our ticket and we are coming.
It's Siddeshwari's standard.
Yeah, that's something really. Yeah.
I gave her carte blanche, so a little bit of that Supreme Personality of rice stuff. Haribo, anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here.
Hey, Tota, Haribo.
Haribo. Maharaj, could you give me a definition or give us a definition for one of the words you'd used in the class? It's I came across it last night as well while reading. Bhakta Vatsala?
Who's affectionate to his devotees.
Okay.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Who else is there?
Dhanurdhara Swami. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Haribo.
It's Stacy. I just wanted to say hello, and I'm so grateful to reconnect.
Oh, nice to see you.
Yeah, so you'll be seeing me, but I'm grateful to reconnect and continue to connect. I received the email, so I'm grateful.
Okay, this is Stacy
Cabrera.
Yeah, Cabrera, yes.
Yeah, I had blonde hair. That's why you might not recognize.
Okay. Raghunath talks about you often. He has a lot of affection for you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I have the same for him, and I'm very grateful to have association with you. And I see Braja Sundari there, who I love. Yes, so I'll let this young lady speak, but Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna. Krishnamrita. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much for the class. Thank you.
Okay, Karnamrita and Braja Radhe.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Haribo, nice to hear from you. Okay, who else? A few more. I'm seeing the pictures wave. I want them zoomed in.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Is the program today?
It is, yeah.
Great, I love it. We got to keep these beautiful, nourishing relationships going, right?
Yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Keep it going, being together, kirtan, katha. Yeah, we're still remembering that kirtan.
We were talking about it last night.
When that day after that inspired the famous article, is tea time item of devotional service. You should you see the kitchen there now.
Todos los domingos por la mañana. No me la trato de no perderme. ¿Y está en dónde? Yo creo, él estuvo en India toda esta temporada. Creo que
Catalina
todavía
se
está
está
allá.
escuchando. Tenés el micrófono abierto, Catalina.
Well, we're looking forward to coming back next year, Maharaj.